Audio Jungle.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are becoming dangerously close to being yesterday's news in Hollywood, according to a leading producer from Tinseltown. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have enjoyed the red carpet treatment in the United States since they moved there from the UK, with a number of high-profile media appearances, including their headline-making sit-down with Oprah Winfrey. But there are signs that their Hollywood honeymoon might be coming to an end, and part of it is down to resentment over how the couple have been showered with lucrative deals from the likes of Netflix and Spotify. That's left a bad taste in the mouths of stars who've worked their whole lives to get to the top, said one entertainment industry insider. And a veteran producer added, "They're dangerously close to being yesterday's news in Hollywood. They haven't made anything yet, and so they have no credibility beyond Netflix's deal announcement. Not all celebrity can be monetized." The Sussexes left the UK for their new life in California last year and were immediately welcomed into Hollywood's celebrity circle, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Oprah Winfrey, and loaning a Beverly Hills mansion from Tyler Perry. Omid Scobie, co-author of Finding Freedom, the unofficial biography of Harry and Meghan, said, "They seem to be existing in a much healthier place, away from the toxicity that caused so many mental health problems for them." A reminder of the difficult time they faced back home came last week when UK broadcasting regulator Ofcom ruled that Piers Morgan's criticism of Meghan on Good Morning Britain did not overstep the mark and deserve sanction. Until now, the couple have enjoyed an easier ride in the United States, fitting in neatly with other celebrities, but some people were surprised when they weren't invited to Barack Obama's star-studded 60th birthday party last month. Meanwhile, the pair have been lampooned in new HBO Max cartoon series The Prince. Meghan is portrayed as a has-been reduced to appearing on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, while Harry works as a masseur in LA. Even their charity work has garnered some stick. Angela Levin, Harry's biographer, said, "Harry and Meghan's grandiose, comfy and caring comments about the situation in Afghanistan, the disaster in Haiti and new COVID variants is another example of them trying to set up some sort of alternate woke royal family." The Sussexes' £112 million Netflix deal and £20 million Spotify podcast deal should keep them in the public eye, and it might help maintain their popularity, but ultimately it depends on what they deliver, according to the veteran Hollywood producer. Their Spotify deal has produced only one podcast so far, and the jury is out over whether their shows will set the world on fire. Referring to Harry's Apple TV Plus series on mental health, his planned Netflix series about Invictus Games warriors, and Meghan's forthcoming animated series about a young girl inspired by influential women in history, the producer said, "Interesting, but hardly blockbuster material." Prince Harry biographer and royal expert Angela Levin appeared on GB News, where she attacked the Duke of Sussex's appearance at the GQ Awards and took issue with the gobbledygook speech he gave there. Ms. Levin, who has spent long periods with the prince when writing a biography on him, claimed Harry and Meghan often acted as two separate people who were victims one day and gurus the next. Presenter Nigel Farage could be seen chuckling at the assessment delivered by Ms. Levin, who wasted no niceties on the royal couple. Prince Harry made a surprise video appearance at the GQ Men of the Year Awards, where the Duke dressed up in a tuxedo and presented the AstraZeneca Team a Hero of the Year award. But during the ceremony, Prince Harry delivered a speech on vaccine hesitancy and misinformation being shared on social media. He said, "These scientists are our nation's pride, and we are deeply indebted to their service. For the rest of us, including global governments, pharmaceutical leaders and heads of business, we have to keep doing our part. That must include sharing vaccine science and supporting and empowering developing countries with more flexibility. Where you were born should not affect your ability to survive when the drugs and know-how exist to keep you alive and well." But Harry then took aim at news outlets and social media for feeding vaccine hesitancy and said, "At the same time, families around the world are being overwhelmed by masses of misinformation across news media and social media, where those who peddle in lies and fear are creating vaccine hesitancy, which in turn leads to divided communities and eroding trust. This is a system we need to break if we are to overcome COVID-19 and the risk of new variants." Mr. Farage invited Ms. Levin onto his evening GB News show and asked why Harry did not shut up. She shared her thoughts and said, "Well, both he and Meghan are desperate to be on the front pages, and the less interest we take on them the more desperate they get. They divide themselves into two. One day they're both horrible victims and they've been hurt and wounded because people don't help them enough, because they can't do things for themselves. The next day, they are gurus and they have a world stage and they want to tell us all about everything. Now he's not a scientist, he is not an expert in any of these things, but I think he's just pushed to talk this gobbledygook. I mean, he did mention that he dislikes, as we just heard, The news media and the social media and they're peddling fears and lies. Well, he and Meghan peddled a few lies, when they were talking to Oprah Winfrey, including the date that he got married on, which he said was 3 days earlier than it was. Ms. Levin also took issue with Prince Harry ignoring journalists in Afghanistan and said the Duke had a narrow knowledge of what the media involves. Meghan told Oprah Winfrey that she and Harry got married 3 days prior to their wedding ceremony on May 19 in the garden during a private ceremony. But marriage documents reported by The Sun found the couple did officially get married on May 19 and not a few days before. The Archbishop of Canterbury also came out to defend himself and said marrying Harry and Meghan in a private ceremony with just the three of them would have been illegal. Prince Harry made another vaccine plea back in May during the Vax Live concert where he called for everyone to commit to their shared humanity. He told audiences, "The vaccine must be distributed to everyone everywhere.